The two of you have children together. You have two children?
Correct.
How old are they?
2.5 and 4, Your Honor.
And you are not married?
Correct.
You lived together for how long, Mr. Cavidia?
4.5 years.
The skeleton of the case is not difficult. You want the engagement ring back.
We often think of the law as being based solely on evidence, contracts, and regulations. But in many cases, especially family disputes, emotions, from anger, frustration, and hurt, are the driving factors in behavior and testimony. The case between Eric Cavidia and Hannah before Judge Judy is a prime example of that. What seemed like a simple matter about engagement rings, wedding expenses, and child visitation rights turned into a legal battle that delved into personal, psychological, and moral depths. Right from the opening, Judge Judy established the analytical framework with all the basic information. The two had 2 children together, one 2.5 and one 4 years old. They were not married. They lived together for 4.5 years.
Your defense to that, Ms. Hannah, is, well, ordinarily I would say yes, but I gave it back to him once, and then when we broke up again, he said to me, I want you to keep it. He doesn't want you to keep it anymore.
The initial lawsuit concerned the engagement ring. Cavidia demanded the ring back after the wedding was called off. Hannah argued that she had returned the ring once, and when they broke up a second time, he told her to keep it. Judge Judy, with her sharp and direct reasoning, determined
a ring is given in contemplation of marriage. Most people get engaged, they get married, they have children. You sort of did that backwards. It's still an engagement ring. It looks like an engagement ring. It smells like an engagement ring. It quacks like an engagement ring. It's an engagement ring. It goes back to Mr. Cavidia. That takes care of the first part of this case.
Thank you.
The key point here is Judge Judy separated emotion from law right from the start. Even though Hannah had the right to be angry or hurt, that did not change the nature of the conditional contract of the gift. Next, she delved into the second part, the more complicated part, the child visitation dispute. Judge Judy investigated the psychological trajectory of Hannah, who accused Cavidia of having a secret double life and deviant tendencies, leading to Cavidia being temporarily denied visits with his children. Here, small details revealed the true motive. Hannah had provided information to the mediator, which led to the recommendation to temporarily suspend visitation rights and require a psychological evaluation of Cavidia. A cross-examining attorney would realize Hannah's actions stemmed not only from concern for the children, but also from an angry reaction, wanting to control the situation after discovering her fiancé's infidelity. Judge Judy pointed out frankly, your anger is real, but anger is not fear, and your behavior is based on emotion, not actual danger to the children.
That's clear.
I was more scared than angry. But...
No, you weren't scared, you were mad.
Conversely, Cavidia appeared with a rather calm demeanor. He admitted to having outside relationships, but denied living a secret, pathological life or endangering the children.
Are you denying that you were a cheater?
What I'm saying, yeah, actually I am, because...
Well, you want to read the emails that she got?
No, Your Honor. What I'd like to show you, Your Honor, is that she was not only knowledgeable about this, but she was a participant, and I have photographic evidence to show.
Okay.
He refused to look at the email or photos Hannah brought. This is a typical legal strategy, admitting a partial fault, keeping the legal focus on fatherhood rights and child protection, instead of rushing into a moral defense. Cavidia's psychology can be described in 3 stages, first with feeling smeared before defense, then counterattack, with evidence to overturn the accusation. This was the shrewd move of someone who understood the law and knew how to separate emotion from litigation. A crucial turning point occurred when Cavidia revealed that Hannah not only knew about the sexual activities, but had also participated in them. This was the psychological moment that made both the court and the audience realize a truth. When a relationship breaks down, secrets once kept private can turn into legal weapons. Judge Judy handled it skillfully, not delving into the details of the sex life, but using the information to clarify that Hannah's accusation aimed at stripping visitation rights was no longer credible.
He had taken care of his children clearly, adequately when you were together. He took care of them as babies, he took care of them as toddlers, he took care of them as post-toddlers.
Throughout the proceedings, Judge Judy continuously emphasized that the children's best interests were the top priority, separate from the adult's emotions. Even if Cavidia was unfaithful, that does not affect his ability to care for his children. This is an important legal lesson. Infidelity is not a legitimate reason to deny a father access to his children unless there is direct evidence of danger to the child. This is also the pillar of many other family cases, where lawyers must argue marital betrayal and parental rights are two different categories. A more detailed analysis of the law and parental rights. The engagement ring was handled by Judge Judy based on the principle of a conditional contract.
Listen to me very carefully. A wedding ring is given pursuant to an oral contract. And the oral contract is, I am giving you this ring in contemplation of us getting married. It's a contract action. It's an oral contract, but it's a contract action. That's why you got the ring back.
The ring is a conditional gift. If the wedding does not occur, the ring must be returned. Hannah demanded compensation for wedding costs, $20,000, but there is no written agreement that Cavidia had to share the expense. Judge Judy immediately dismissed this claim. This is a living testament to the principle, no contract, no legal obligation. It also emphasizes the lesson for individuals. All financial commitments in or before marriage should have clear evidence, otherwise the consequence falls upon the person who voluntarily paid. The psychological analysis of Hannah throughout the case shows a common motif. When hurt, people want revenge, and the law is sometimes dragged into a personal battle. Hannah relayed information about Cavidia's double life with the intent to protect the children, but simultaneously as a way to punish him. When Judge Judy pointed this out, Hannah lost her ability to maintain a firm legal argument. Everything was based on personal emotion, not actual evidence of risk to the children. This is a crucial lesson. Strong emotions can obscure reason, and in law, reason always triumphs over emotion. Cavidia, from the perspective of opposing counsel, exhibited a standard defense strategy, acknowledging some personal fault, maintaining the legal focus, visitation rights, and property. He used evidence to counter the accusation, but did not delve into the details of personal life, avoiding moral judgment. This is evidence of an effective legal strategy, recognizing weaknesses, controlling the focus of the lawsuit, and protecting core legal rights. Judge Judy, in this case, acted as the ultimate cross-examiner. She clearly separated emotion and law, analyzed the psychology of both parties, asked direct questions, controlled the courtroom pace, and ensured the children's rights were prioritized. As a result, the case went to its core issues, returning the engagement ring to Cavidia, dismissing Hannah's claim for wedding costs, and maintaining the father's unsupervised visitation rights. This is a typical example of the court protecting children's rights and property according to the law, without being swayed by the adult's emotions. When disputing property or custody rights, emotions can lead people to violate the law or lose their advantage. The law only cares about evidence and agreements. All financial commitments before or during marriage need to be documented in writing or at least clearly agreed upon. The engagement ring and wedding expenses are proof of this. Infidelity, anger, or personal hurt on the part of the parents is not sufficient legal grounds to restrict child visitation rights unless there is a direct risk to the child. Admitting personal fault, maintaining the legal focus, and using evidence to overturn accusations, that is the necessary tactic in civil disputes. The moment Judy was silent for a few seconds caused the entire courtroom to fall quiet. She looked at the two, not as a plaintiff or defendant, but as two people who once lived together, once cared for each other, and were now standing at the boundary between truth and hurt. She said that this case was not just a few numbers in a support agreement, nor just a small cut on the arm, but the emotional burden that the two had left on each other throughout their many years of living together. She analyzed that the testimonies of both had inconsistencies, but what made the case more ambiguous was the way emotions intervened and sought to replace logic, blurring the truth. The truth, she said, lies somewhere between the two accounts, in a moment of chaos where neither was willing to admit their part of the fault. And more importantly, the court does not judge emotions, it only judges evidence. And the evidence here, although present, was not strong enough to conclude that the man engaged in violent behavior, as she alleged. Therefore, she dismissed the claim regarding injury and maintained the child support amount according to the regulations. But before reaching that conclusion, the courtroom unexpectedly heated up as the two entered a tense confrontation, an emotional explosion that perhaps even they had not anticipated. Hannah, with a trembling but resolute voice, affirmed that she did not fabricate any details, that she had no reason to self-harm just to win a minor civil lawsuit. "You live a double life," she said, her voice rising, "and you know it. You didn't just lie to me. You lied to everyone around you." That accusation caused Cavidia's composure to break for the first time, his voice not loud but firm. "I am not perfect. I made mistakes. But I never intentionally hurt you." He looked straight at Hannah. "You say I live a double life, but you know everything about me. You participated in everything, you agreed to everything, and when things didn't go your way, you turned those things into weapons." Then he launched the counterattack. "If I was dangerous, why didn't you file for a restraining order? If you were truly afraid of me, why didn't you do what any mother would do?" That question hit the weakest point in Hannah's testimony. She blushed, pursed her lips, trying to respond that she was too panicked to know what to do, but her voice was no longer firm. She tried to cling to the argument that she only wanted safety for herself and her children. But compared to her act of sending accusatory emails, constantly mentioning his personal life, that argument gradually lost weight. "The two of you are not arguing about the truth. You are arguing about your hurt." The voice from Judge Judy, serious yet profound. Judge Judy restored order and reason. What they truly needed was not to win or lose, but the ability to communicate healthily enough so that their children would not grow up on that invisible battle line. In my opinion, is not that the court could not find the absolute truth, but that the two let emotions guide them for too long, to the point where everything they said and did became weapons against each other. The way Judy closed the case with a reminder about the children's best interests was also the brightest spot in the trial. It pulled the two out of their personal conflict and forced them to remember their greater responsibility. When she said that no one wins or loses, only the truth is partially illuminated, the courtroom seemed to breathe a collective sigh of relief. A small case, but with great weight because it is not just a legal story, but a human story of emotion, responsibility, and truth under the fair yet human-centered lens of the law.